David came in to meet me and he said, you know, Neil, I'm not a billion-dollar company, but I want to be treated like a billion-dollar company because I've got a game changer.
He has the key attributes of an entrepreneur.
Coming from Wall Street, stepping into an industry like the pharmaceutical industry and recognizing how much personal risk he was taking.
There was a long period of time where I was enjoying the hospitality of my parents and friends and other family members as I lived the adventure of every other entrepreneur. Starting up, doing foolish things, leveraging credit cards, not paying yourself first. You're up against entrenched companies with established ways of doing things. And as I keep telling people, innovation takes time. The drug that I created, brought to the market, Jornay PM, is a stimulant medication used for the treatment of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Children with unmedicated, if you will, ADHD, typically have challenges, many of them just getting through their routines during the day. What makes the product unique is, unlike other stimulants that are dosed in the morning and can take up to 2 hours before they have meaningful clinical effect, this product is dosed at night.
Delexis technology is a drug delivery technology platform that did not exist. There was no way to dose a stimulant at night so that it can start working in the morning, throughout the day, and into the evening. What a difference it would make for patients and families.
Clinicians and parents needed to know that they could have a reliable clinical outcome each and every day. The technologies that existed before Delexis simply couldn't provide that.
The current advice from physicians to caregivers about how to deal with this morning problem is wake your child up 2 hours earlier than they would normally get out of bed. It's just not a viable solution.
When Sean is struggling in the morning, it makes him feel like he's bad. And those are his comments all the time. He's always saying, you know, I'm a bad kid, I can't get it together.
I feel bad for him, and then it makes me feel worse when I get on him. I just want something to help his life be easier.
Most of the time when my ADHD is bad, I feel like I can't control my feelings, like my mind just goes blank.
We're fighting over simple things like, you know, eat your breakfast, get dressed.
During the trial, it was like the best month of our life. The mornings were so much better.
He was able to get up, no stress. He woke up pleasant. He'd wake up and say good morning, and he would ask everybody how they slept. He felt better about himself. We felt like this was Sean, this was our son.
When Jornay PM comes on the market, I'm hoping that Dr. Ann will prescribe it for him so that we can try to get back to a more peaceful morning every morning.
It's moving. It changes that dynamic between parents and children in the morning. Instead of a confrontational, get out of bed, you've got to get going, you've got to brush your teeth, to a very different family dynamic that can change the whole parent-child relationship in a very positive way.
So that was really, really exciting moment for all of us because we actually had that eureka moment, like it's gonna work. This product now did have every opportunity to be approved.
And then completely out of the blue, we received a complete response letter from the FDA. A complete response letter is when the FDA has determined that at that point in time, they will not be approving the drug for sales and marketing in the United States.
When we first got the letter, I was absolutely stunned.
Shock, disbelief, and everything that we had worked so hard for over a decade was gone.
We believed in the data. We believed in the clinical package that we had, and we decided to take on the FDA.
We had a monstrous battle on our hands going forward.
Red lights were flashing, board meetings were being called. Never had so many lawyers on a phone call as I did in those early days in my life.
We appealed. We asked them to reconsider. We gave them additional data. We felt that they were looking at the clinical data package in the wrong way. They rejected it a second time in December of 2017.
This was going to be now much, much more difficult to overturn.
At this point, we had $75 million of debt, fully secured by all the assets of the company. We had to let go over 70% of the staff. Our cash balances were diminishing.
Like, not a lot of people know we were within weeks of bankruptcy at that point in time. And let everybody go and gone down to just a core group of only the most essential employees. I remember saying to my head of R&D and my partner at work, Fiona McDougall, this is not the way this story ends.
It was a clarity of vision, I think, that kept the resilience and the leadership and the focus on David's ability to keep moving forward against all odds.
We ran on adrenaline, straight up.
We knew we weren't wrong. We knew what they were saying was a misinterpretation. We just had to get them to see it. The data was on our side.
We could have just accepted what the FDA had recommended for us to do, or we could ask them to reconsider in a more formal process with lawyers involved, took on the FDA and went through the formal dispute resolution, and ultimately we were successful.
That was May 21st, and one of the best days of my life.
And we'd been asked to resubmit our label, no additional data, no new studies, no additional work required.
To finally get that approval in 2018 was a special moment.
A moment of sheer relief and excitement, quickly followed by a, wow, how much work do we have to do now?
But as I mentioned just a moment ago, we were still facing an impending bankruptcy. So we actually raised $125 million in 19 days, which was one of the fastest financings I've ever seen, but we were highly motivated.
In total, we raised over $200 million to support the launch of this drug. To see the vision come to life and to know the benefit that this drug can have with families and parents and caregivers, and most importantly for the child, for the patient who's affected by this disease, to start their day in a positive setting and a positive footing is very emotional. It can literally change that child, that patient's life.
Is this a David and Goliath story? It absolutely is. I can honestly say it was, I don't ever remember a moment speaking with him where he said, it's over, we're done.
He has leadership, he has tenacity, he won't take that cannot be achieved as an answer, he will take that challenge on. And yet at the same time, he is true and always has been true to his core being. Honest, ethical, authentic.